suture also you can see. Okay. Then we have this the pterygoid process. Pterygoid process, we have the medial pterygoid plate, lateral pterygoid plate. In between the two plates we have the pterygoid fossa. Okay, pterygoid fossa, and then because medial to it we have the conis. We have this conis, and they are separated by this posterior border of the vomer bone. Okay, which is a single bone. Okay, lateral to it we have the greater wing of the sphenoid bone. Okay, greater wing of the sphenoid bone we have this oval foramen, we call the foramen ovale. Then the posterior lateral to it we have another circular foramen that we call the foramen spinosum. Foramen ovale, the structure are passing, that is this is the mandibular division of the trigeminal nerve, lesser petrosal nerve, and the accessory meningeal artery. Now you are recording, so I am telling you all structure, so you have to keep. Then foramen spinosum, middle meningeal artery passing, middle meningeal artery passing. Okay. Then this is the petrous part of the temporal bone. In the petrous part of the temporal bone, this is the apex. Just medial to it we have the irregular foramen that we call the foramen lacerum. Foramen lacerum. Through the foramen lacerum, it is really the close with the fibrous tissue, and also the internal carotid artery pass. Okay. In the petrous part of the temporal bone, we have here the carotid canal for the internal carotid artery. Okay, for the internal carotid artery. Just posterior to the foramen spinosum, we have the spine of the sphenoid bone. Okay, spine of the sphenoid bone. Then here, just more posterior to the petrous part of the temporal bone, we have this fossa in here. We call the jugular fossa. Okay, in the jugular fossa down here, there is a foramen here. We call the jugular foramen. Jugular foramen, the structure are passing. There are the 9, 10, 11 cranial nerve and the superior bulb of the internal jugular vein. Okay, so these structure pass through the jugular foramen. Then just beneath here on the occipital condyle, we have another foramen or canal, we call as the hypoglossal canal. Through the hypoglossal canal, hypoglossal nerve is passing. Clear? Then these two convex shaped occipital condyle unite with that of the atlas, first cervical vertebra, to form the atlanto-occipital joint. Okay, atlanto-occipital joint. Okay, then on the base, the other things you can see here, the mandibular fossa. Mandibular fossa, articular tubercle. In the mandibular fossa, this is the head of the mandible which articulate here to form the temporomandibular joint, which is the synovial joint. Temporomandibular joint, which is the synovial joint. Okay, and then more posteriorly, this one hole is the foramen magnum. Through the foramen magnum, the medulla oblongata, meninges, two vertebral arteries, venous plexus, and also the spinal part of the accessory nerve, they are passing through the foramen magnum. Clear? More posterior to the foramen magnum, this one is the crest, external occipital crest. Okay, and then this view you will see in the posterior.